intro. This is the intro
Intro.
song.
Hell yeah, intro. Yeah, Chad's in the house. He's got a beer. And then there's John here, and he has a beard. Yeah. See,
Yeah.
hell yeah. See, I rhymed it all. Yeah, because I'm awesome. Anyway, how's it going today, John?
Not too bad, sir. Nice to see you on another Wednesday.
Yeah, likewise, as always, because, we do this every other Wednesday, where we get around and we talk about different stuff as the cosmos, but it's just the two of us.
Yeah, since it's just the two of us, we get to do what we want, and what we want to talk about is card games that nobody else plays on the show, so they don't want to talk about it.
Porn. I mean, card games to talk about on the show. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, so we decided to do a show called, because John and I both love card games. We decided to do card games, the underrated art form, because I do truly feel like it is a very underappreciated medium when it becomes to like art. I had a buddy of mine who I went to high school with. He worked for, is Wizard still Magic?
Yeah, Hasbro owns it, but Wizards is still a company within Hasbro, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he worked for Wizards, and he drew a couple of Magic cards.
That's cool.
For about 2-3 years. Yeah, it was really cool. What he did, I'm not 100% sure, because this was way before. Like I played Magic maybe once or twice, and you used to play professionally or semi-professionally, right?
I mean, I used to play competitively, but I would never say I was ever to a high level.
Really?
I've played it a long time, but not like the meme says, "Oh, you've played for a long time, right? You must be good." And then the guy's like crying at the end. That's not true. I played for 30 years, and I won a handful of tournaments, but nothing major.
I feel that. It's funny. I've never actually won a tournament. In fact, I can tell you right now, I don't think I've ever actually won a game while playing a
It's
card
okay.
game.
You know what?
No, it
I,
is
I
okay.
I do think that as much as a lot of card games focus on that element, I get it. The competitiveness of it keeps people playing. There's way more people that play, just for fun and just with their friends. And
Absolutely. No, and I agree. I think card games are meant for, yes, shoot.
oh,
Sorry,
okay.
whoa. Was that looping?
Let me
Did
let
that
me
loop?
listen to it.
Anyway, did that loop?
I'm listening on YouTube. It looks like we're good.
Okay, cool. I couldn't tell if we were looping or not, but anyway, because my thing started playing yours, so I clicked on my Facebook, and then the video popped up, so it
Oh, that's
started
it. Yeah.
repeating. Anyway, no, I think a lot of people do play for fun, and I think that's when you get too far into it, you lose your fucking shit.
Yeah.
And you get irritated.
I actually envy the people who can really, keep those boundaries, and just play for fun, and not be like me, where like I have multiple different cards all over my desk, and I'm just a mess of
What do you have right
over these
now?
games.
What do you have?
I have a whole stack of Lorcana that I haven't sorted. I have some Magic cards that I was thinking about selling, but now they just become an endless pile on my desk, and it just becomes its own, universe within your life. Card sleeves everywhere, deck boxes everywhere. It's all over my kitchen table.
Dude, this is my entire deck box right here. All 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decks, which is the 6th one being built. I get it. And then I also have on top of my beer fridge where I keep all my Lorcana stuff, not in the beer fridge, next to it. Because, I drink beer and I play games like card games like a real man. I have a stacks of Lorcana cards on top there because I used to be really into Yu-Gi-Oh! And then I stopped that for a long time, and then unfortunately you got me into Lorcana, and I was like, fuck.
Don't put that on me, man.
Well, oh no, I will put it on you because you got me interested in building decks and all kinds of stuff with it.
And it's definitely not the obsession that Magic the Gathering can be. And I actually have come in and out of Magic several times, but I said, I'm just gonna kind of, the kids are interested in Lorcana. We're just gonna play for fun. It won't be a big deal, and then right back into
Mhm.
it. Buying the expensive cards,
Yeah.
building decks, going every week. It's like, all right.
Yeah. Now, do you have a limit of how much money you will spend on a card?
Yeah, honestly, I'm like a $50 guy. If it's over that,
Wow.
I'm gonna try to trade for it. I have very few Magic cards that are worth more than that. I usually kind of wait until they're at their peak and then or try to guess, if they're going to be
Yeah.
reprinted or something and get rid of them. I don't keep too much over that.
Yeah. I'm a $15 depending on what I need.
Okay,
Like
that's fair.
that's my threshold. Like I was really what Maui Hero to All was like a $20 card.
Hmm.
Or no, he was about 15 each.
That sounds about
And
right.
yeah, and I was just like, you know what? I really need him. Yes, Gaston, Arrogant Hunter is great with Reckless,
But
but
he's no
Maui
Maui.
hits Rush, but he's no Maui. And then Edgar, of course, is just Maui Light, his cheap Maui. Let's be real here. But we got company with Edgar, and you get a Maui.
And
But
yeah, and I value it differently. Like I wanted Rapunzel's at one point, and they were $50.
sure,
So then it was like, okay, I've had a couple other good cards that I've traded. So to me, trade value is different than cash. So if I can trade for it, that's great.
sure.
I try not to invest, more than that. I definitely know people who, have hundreds of dollars worth of cards in every deck, and it's like, wow, like
Oh
gotta have the
yeah,
foil versions or the enchanted versions
and
it's like,
then
no,
multiple.
yeah. And then I try not to hold cards till they, their value bottoms out either, so at least I can trade them while they have value. Like Beast Tragic Hero, I had a set. I played with them for a couple sets, sold them when I felt like they were dipping down, and now they're way down. So
Yeah.
I
Oh
think you have
yeah.
to be smart with, what you do with your stuff too.
Oh yeah, and usually I try to wait until the next set to see what goes down as well, because you get all those stuff like Rapunzel gifted with healing, Maui is those two are probably the biggest prime, or even uh Diablo Herald.
Hmm.
That card was just like what, $60 a
Yeah.
piece
At one point, it
for
was at
it.
least up to 50. Yeah. And now it's down to like 15. I missed
Yeah,
the window.
and
I had those listed on eBay and nobody bought them, but
damn,
well,
yeah, and then
I got my use out of them.
now you look at this as you got a Pegasus, a Gift of Hercules now is coming out with a better art, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
see if that's a
The
increase
the
in
Lorcana
value.
challenge art, those are cool.
Yeah, they're absolutely adorable. Go look it up. So that's what we wanted to talk about is, John, would you say, and I'm gonna ask you this question because this has been on my mind for a while. When it comes to card art, do you think it is as valuable as comic book art? And what I mean by that is you look at it and you're like, I absolutely want that. Even if it's you don't even play the game. Would you say that?
Um, and here I can share my screen if you want to
Oh yeah.
show people some art.
Where's your screen?
I'm trying.
Okay. I'll wait.
Oops. This one.
There you go. Oh hell
So
yeah. Oh, he's so cute.
he's so cool.
I absolutely love him.
Yeah, my daughter was over the moon about that one. Honestly, I have collected a few cards, but even in comics, like I have a few like variant covers and issues that I'll keep, just for the art or the artist. But I think card games is very different to me. And again, if you look at this art, I mean, it's amazing. It's up there with every
Mm-hmm.
amazing Disney artist that's ever, tried it. Kenneth Anderson did this art, and Magic is the same way. Some of the artists that they put the art on these cards is just insane. When you see, especially when you see it, larger and in person or on a playmat or something, you're like, oh my god, they waste this art on this tiny little 2x2 card. Why are they doing this? But it is such a huge part of the game. I've seen players say, oh, I'd play the game if they just in Times New Roman typed out the effects of the card and what it did. I would still play the game. And I feel like that's not correct for most people. Oops. I feel like art is a big part of what draws you to the game, even if even if you're not really aware of it. I think the Disney aspect and the great art of this game really is a huge factor of why I keep playing certain cards I like. I'll definitely put cards in my deck because I'm like, oh, I just like the way this card looks, or how the black frame looks with like the purple cards, like that's really aesthetically pleasing to me. So I play cards like that. So I definitely am still a mark for the art, and especially again in Magic, they've had some of the greatest card game art ever.
No, and I agree, and it's funny because I'm glad you brought that up because I know we've had that conversation before, about like what's great art. We had that conversation where I was like, "Hey, what would Pinocchio do?" And first off, I love that Pegasus Gift of Hercules. He's my boy. He's my when I'm like, these guys are my boys. I'm gonna put these in my card art when any time that I can, and that guy I'm definitely gonna use all the time. And he's also a good card. I mean, he has evasive, so only characters with evasive can attack him. He's a 1-drop with 1 lore. He's a pretty good card.
He is now. The one hitch here is that you get him for participating in the challenges. So he will be somewhat more difficult to find, somewhat more expensive.
Sure.
And that's kind of a bummer. But they are going to have a lot more arts like these in the packs now going forward. I think they've really come around to that, understanding that players do chase arts and chase cards and those kind of things. So they're doing multiple levels of rare, unique arts in the pack. So that's kind of cool too.
Yeah, and also too, if you wanted to scroll down to his original art as well, his original art is like a nod to the cartoon, is a nod to the animated series,
right?
And it's still absolutely adorable and stunning. But I think you are right. I think they are drawing into that hey, if we have really great art, these people are gonna see these cards and want to use them. And I do agree with you because I'm gonna show you right now mine, if you don't mind me popping up my screen.
Oh, go ahead.
I want to show you the card that we talked about before. So John and I always we were talking about the Pinocchio card, the new one, and I was like, "Oh, this is really good. What would you think about? What would you think would work with this?" And you're like, "Well, he sucks." And I'm like, "Damn it!" But his artwork's really cute, and I really love it. But then Pua came out, and if anybody knows, I love Pua. He's one of my favorite characters. Best companion, hands down, in any Disney series. But Pua is a 2-drop character from the second set or the third set. And when you kill him, he's a 2 lore. You kill him, he goes back into your deck, and you shuffle it. It's pretty good. At least in my opinion, I think he's great. But then they came out with this little dude recently, and my heart melted, John. Like, I even messaged you going, this is the cutest artwork ever.
Yeah, and I think Disney is definitely self-aware. I mean, I'm sure in other games like Pokemon's like that, Yu-Gi-Oh, people like certain characters from the shows they enjoy. Magic, there's definitely, some people are like, oh, I love the character Liliana, I collect all her cards. But Disney is a whole nother animal, right? So they are definitely pandering to that crowd. There's
oh yeah,
I've met dozens of people online that are just like, oh, I don't play the game, I just like the Donald Duck cards, or I just like the Mickey Mouse, so that gives them a whole nother avenue. And honestly, I don't think that they play it up enough. I think I think they're sticking to a lot of characters as they start, and they'll continue to expand in certain franchises that maybe don't get a lot of love outside of their one movie, like the Goofy movie and things like that. Like there is fans that are just rabid to see that in any form. Yeah, which is coming soon. So I actually think they should do more like Pua synergies, or reward you if you have Moana and Pua. I think they should really push that going forward, because I do think that is incredibly enjoyable for people.
No, I agree, because they had the what was it, the piggy bank is one of the ones that I talked about. And if you don't mind, I'm going to keep this up for a little bit.
Yeah, no problem.
But piggy bank was an interesting card that they released, where it's if you have a character named Donald Duck in play, pay 1 less to play this item. And first off, the artwork's great. It's goofy, it's zany, it's kind of eye-catching and cartoony, and it's just called the Nephew's Piggy Bank. And that was one of those things where I do agree with you that they need to play off of this more. And then when you rotate that, though, you now have the Donald card, where it's for each item named the Nephew's Piggy Bank, have him pay 2 less ink. to play this character. But you also, to your point, John, they also have pull the lever, which also is Disney knows what they're doing.
Yep.
Because right after that, you have wrong lever.
That's so funny.
And it's awesome.
Yeah, and people love that. Now that was a little bit after my core Disney time, so but it is cool to see people so excited. People love Emperor's New Groove.
Oh yeah, it's an
And
amazing.
and again, some of that is the art on the card. Some of that is the art that you experience through the actual animated, feature that you watch. So again, I think a lot of that is what's drawing us to this game and what's going to help this game, continue to thrive, or if it's going to have success, that's going to be it, right? And now Disney has a style, right? They definitely have a style, and they've changed a little over the years. But I do feel like in Lorcana they're starting to branch out, because you can't just have, the 27th traditionally drawn Mickey Mouse is probably not going to be as exciting as the first couple. So they are experimenting out. I mean, you see some of the enchanted cards. Wrong Lever has an enchanted card there. They're experimenting with those kind of styles.
All the different Mickeys.
Yeah. So I think that's cool. And I hope that they do more of that. And some have, not been received as well, but I still think they need to continue to push the boundaries and not just do the standard house style for every card. And I think they're doing a good job of it.
No, I agree. Absolutely. Like they have the Mickey Mouse Wayward Sorcerer, which is a great art style. And then you have the classic Mickey Steamboat Pilot. And then also the Mickey, a leader of the band, which is like the classic.
I just love this Steamboat Mickey one. That's so cool.
He's so good.
I should have got that mat when he was out.
I have that mat.
Nice.
Yeah, my brother bought it for me as a birthday gift.
And the Detective Mickey. Yeah, there's so many good ones.
There's so many good ones. I love the big. What was it? Big Mickey. Oh, Night Mickey is really cool. Big giant mouse Mickey is really funny.
Sorcerer Mickey. Yeah,
Sorcerer Mickey. They're all great, and also too. One of the ones we have to tell you of when it comes to the artwork is the Stitch cards. There's not as many as Mickey, obviously, but I think all the Stitch cards deserve a round of applause.
Oh yeah, there's definitely some Stitch fans in house at pushing for sure.
Yeah. I mean, come on, you got Stitch dressed as a pirate, Stitch dressed as a rock star.
He's one of the few that's in all 6 colors, right? Or has he not been in? No, he was in blue this set.
He is not in amethyst yet.
Oh, he's not. That's right.
No, he's not. Funny. No, he does have this really cool enchanted though, which I think is sweet. Also, I will say, I know people will fight me for this, but in the live action Lilo and Stitch movie, Lilo has a better outcome, in my opinion, from the animated movie. And you want to know why?
Why?
Because Nani gets to see Nani fulfill her dream to not hold her back. And also, too, she gets a family that will be able to take care of her. And Nani also can teleport back and forth with the portal gun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't, I don't know, each live action one was, the early ones were kind of like, so I haven't really watched. I haven't watched Aladdin. I haven't watched Beauty and the Beast. I haven't watched many of them, so.
Oh, you didn't see Lilo and Stitch?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not. It's like only so many hours in the day, and the live action just really haven't done it for me.
So you want to know who the best artwork is?
Cobra Bubbles?
Well, yeah, but I was talking about Jim Deere.
Oh, you were talking about Gene from Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh yeah, Gene from. Well, let's talk about Gene for Wreck-It Ralph. So first off, one of the fun things about Lorcana is you get these really random cards. And one of the cards they came out with was Gene Niceland Resident, which was the guy who was an asshole to Ralph throughout the movie. And I love these types of cards.
Yeah, they've been very good about kind of sneaking in those off the wall characters, or not used characters, because it can't all be Mickeys and Tinkerbells. And
yeah. Well, they also too they did dive deep, and this was a card that I thought that deserves to be good, and they should focus on more. Is when they came out with Phantom Blot with the classic stuff.
Yeah.
Because first off, this artwork is sick.
And I'm
Luca
wondering if with the
Pinelli.
next set called Fabled, I wonder if they'll do a lot more of the classic characters.
I hope so because I would love if they did more Oswald stuff. Even though he's not particularly good. Um, he's cool
Amazing art,
though.
amazing art. No, that
Absolutely.
is perfect.
What, the Phantom Blot?
Him too, but the Oswald, the Lucky Rabbit art is
Oh
so
yeah,
good. There it is.
Oswald right here.
Such a good
Yes.
one.
I finally I got 3 of him. I was very happy because that's all. Really, you just need 2 in a deck. Even 1 is fine. But you thought too. I thought he was gonna be broken. You thought he was gonna be broken.
I
And
thought for sure, and he
yeah,
was, um, for a minute, but yeah, then they
he's
banned some cards out.
and then he's absolutely a solid artwork where he's ripping the card off the board.
Yeah,
And then you have the black
he's
and white
bringing
and the
the
color
color
in
into the
it.
black and white. Yeah, so
He's
cool.
sick. People lost their mind when Oswald was announced. Did they? No, they didn't actually. It
Oh
was
yeah,
under
he
the
did.
radar.
He came out. So they did this set. They did
Mhm.
this set where he was announced. He was like the first card announced because the sixth set hadn't come out. So everyone's like, "Oh my god, they're already showing it." And yeah, people were like, that card was pre-ordering for like a ton of money because people were like, "Oh my god, it's so busted," and he's gonna put in items for free. And he almost was until they banned a couple cards out of the format.
They sure did. Haram and
But he will be safe in
Birthday.
rotation. And for anybody who doesn't know, a lot of
Yes.
games rotate sets that are legal in their constructed formats to, keep it a little fresh. And
Yes.
and the first one's coming for Disney, so some of the cards won't be able to be played in the main constructed format that most people play. But Oswald will survive, so he could still find his brokenness.
I hope so. At least I feel like
Keep
he's
your
gonna be
play
really.
sets.
I think he's gonna be really good in the Maurice Mean Bean Machine.
Yeah.
I
If then they would have to. No, you're right. The Maurice's cards came out in set 6
yeah.
and 7, so yeah, these should be good.
Because now Haram is gone, but now they have the Infinity
That's true.
format, which they did just announce that was going to get its own ban list. And they were going to treat it essentially the same as the regular competitive, which is actually nice because I feel like when they announce this Infinity stuff, it's never appreciated ever.
Yeah. And I think that's why they changed Bucky's text. They eroded him instead of banning him because then they just have to outright ban him in Infinity as soon as they came out. And they kind of knew that, I'm sure,
Yeah.
in advance. And but Haram he'll probably get about 2 months, I'll predict. And then they'll probably be like, "Oh yeah, wait, he's still busted."
Yeah. Oh, Haram's going to be still busted?
I think
Well,
so.
in Infinity, aren't they keeping the ban list or no?
No, it'll have its own ban list. So it'll start with none, is what they said. And then we'll see
Oh.
who. So all those cards will be legal again in Infinity. And then when somebody finds the most broken deck ever, everyone will cry and complain, and it'll get banned again.
Well, yeah, and then everybody will start, using those cards because let's be real here when it comes to competitive stuff, everybody uses the same damn deck.
Yeah.
There's no versatility.
Lorcana's definitely better than other games I've seen, especially now with 8 sets out. There's a lot of different types you can play. Almost
Sure.
every ink color has a version you could be competitive with. But yeah, you're right. There's definitely certain 2 or 3 in every format that rise to the top, and there is a lot of copying each other's because again, when you're trying to win and playing for prizes, you want to play what's tested. You don't always want to show up with your puppy dog deck and try and take it down. Not
Dustin, my
everyone's willing to spend $75 for a ticket to play it.
right, to play an experimental deck. But even then, because I went to a tournament the other 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
and we sat down and first off, it was $10 to enter, and then the moment we got there, we started kind of like seeing, like listening and kind of observing. We sat down at the table, we were listening to everybody, and everybody had the same damn deck. They all had Steel Song or the Steel, like Lawrence, Giant Cobra, like all that stuff.
Mhm.
But there was one lady who came in with a 99 puppy deck.
Yes.
She had 99. She had
Exactly.
99 puppies.
That was it? Nothing played nothing else?
No, well, she had more to it.
Okay.
Well, no, because remember, it's a maximum of 99 puppies, but you can still
Right.
have more after that.
Oh my god.
But she had a stack about this big.
That's hilarious. Yeah, we had a lady play a puppy deck, but she had, like, a couple dozen, not he
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
pushing
yeah,
it
yeah.
all
My brother plays the puppy cannon, where what he does is he launches puppies at you
Nice.
to bother you. But we sat down and we're like, "Oh, this is gonna be really competitive." Well, and people were like being really snobby to each other.
Oh, that's too bad.
Well, we ended up just me, my brother, and my wife just ended up playing casually.
Okay.
On another table, and we kind of observed, and we're like, we'll come back later. It's not as bad as we thought it was. But I wasn't gonna spend $10 just to come in and get my ass kicked. Um, you
Yeah, see,
know,
our store is nice because you at least get we call it the pity pack if you sign up, so you at least get that, and then they do, like, prize wheel stuff where they raffle off stuff, and,
oh, see, they
everybody
don't do
has a
that,
chance to enjoy it because not everyone's gonna come and
right?
be hyper competitive. And
Right.
my experience, at least in playing in a few shops and playing in a big Chicago event that they had here, is Lorcana is definitely a better environment for the casual players, but you still, people still want to win and they enjoy
Yeah,
winning prizes and they get maybe a little too serious about it. And um, but I've had a great, so I hope that you have that experience too. I mean, our shop, multiple shops I've played at in the area are just, you
yeah.
know, there's some people that get salty, but for the most part, it's like, oh, that card's so cool, and what cards do you like to play, and how long have you been playing? It's not like, when people lose, they're flipping the table or anything like that.
That's how it was with Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, oh my god, people got so upset when I went to a couple of Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, and people would get so upset when they lost. But it was a good time
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
So even though we didn't ended up not entering and everything, like as the night went on, because we stayed for maybe about an hour and a half,
Well,
people
that's
were
good.
coming over and watching us like play casually, and they started talking with them. We're like, this isn't so bad. Maybe we should have actually entered. I'm also a weenie at times, and I also like to tweak my decks. But you want to know the fun thing, John?
Mm.
My wife pulled this.
Ooh, that was
The
one of the best.
Enchanted Perdita card, which is actually an awesome card.
It's so
Uh,
good,
my
and it's
brother
definitely gonna be good after rotation.
yeah, oh yeah, my brother lost his shit when we pulled it. My wife was like, "This card is different. What is this?" And he's like, "Chad,
Get
get
a
a
top
top
loader.
loader and an extra sleeve and tape it immediately."
Nice.
And we're like,
That's
"Hell
a
yeah," because he got
great feeling.
Arthur. Yeah. Oh, dude, it's awesome. He got Arthur. It's his enchanted that he got, but our first one was not Bambi, which was a phenomenal card. I'm
Another
sorry.
great one.
I need to show off this card. He's adorable. When they
He's
announced
adorable.
Bambi, I was shocked at uh how good his card is. Because here's his whoopsie.
Very good. You just gotta share the screen, or pull up the tab.
The tab is up.
Oh, didn't work then.
No, it didn't. Replace Windows. This one.
There it is.
Shared. There we go. So here is the regular Bambi, which is absolutely adorable. And you can fight me. This card is awesome. At least with one. I wouldn't go 2 or 3 or anything like that.
I
But
definitely played
one.
one week one when it came out. It won me some games, but the uninkable to get stuck in your hand a little bit too much, and it just
Yeah.
kept getting stuck with it. But I
Yeah,
love the
because you
card.
have to keep repeating them.
Yeah, and they just always had characters to keep just sending. Which the one lore was good, but it's like I need something that can challenge or something here, and then he was just getting bounced.
Yeah. And then you have
Yeah, one of the best arts.
one of the best
So good.
artworks of him sleeping. It's adorable. The fact that they started with Aristocats, they started bringing out Lady and the Tramp, Bambi, Aristocats. I'm really excited that they're not holding back with a lot of their Disney stuff. Is they're like, okay, well, how can we make these characters implemented? I mean, because obviously you have the ones Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, Jafar, the villains, but how can we make Bambi a playable card against Captain Hook? That's awesome. Like, and then you have like the DuckTales characters, and Gargoyles is coming out, Darkwing Duck is coming out soon. Pixar is coming out next year.
Oh my gosh, Pixar is going to be crazy.
But I think personally, I think a lot of the Bambi stuff and a lot of the animal artwork are great. Like Shy Skunk Flower,
Yeah,
awesome artwork, adorable. I know I've seen a couple of decks that use him, but no, actually, he's not really that bad.
Yeah, 3 for 3 is always a good start, and he's got an okay ability.
Yeah.
Super fun, and I hope we'll get some sort of themed format in the future too, where we'll be able to kinda team up these cards, because it seems like, some of them don't have a home in the competitive, but you really just wanna play them. Like, I've actually lost to Thumper a few times. He's really good, and
Oh, yeah, the
there's so many good ones.
Yeah, no, he's great. Ship chosen character gets +3. You give him with Gaston, Arrogant Hunter, done.
Done. You're done for.
Like, hell yeah. And let's not forget, speaking of, Forest Duel is a really cool card, even though I wish it was a little bit more playable. I love this artwork. It's, two deer fighting. I fucking like it. But here's my favorite card. First off, there's way too many Gaston cards.
Maybe went a little too far, but I know Beauty and the Beast is a huge thing for them.
It is, but I can't
tell.
Gaston
is one of the best villains. Everybody hates him.
Everybody does hate him, but he's also the best. And Arrogant Hunter is a phenomenal card. Like, absolutely. This card, and I feel like I've beat you with Arrogant Hunter.
Probably.
Yeah, like,
I think that 4 power is tough on turn 2. He takes out everything,
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's because it was during your location deck. I just kept using Gaston to attack your locations.
Yeah, he'll definitely take out locations.
Yeah.
Which I do wish were a little more push. We'll see next set if we get better locations, because by now there's only like 1 or 2 that are even playable. I like Gaston intellectual powerhouse, and again, going back to the art, like that tells a story, like, right? Like, look at this art. So for those who don't know, the Floodborns are like, because these Disney characters were pulled into a different universe where ink is part of the lore, and when you can get different versions of the character. Like, there's a mystical Belle who can do magic, and there's a Gaston obviously here who's supposed to be smart, obviously, because a lot of the characters are kind of the opposite, or their other attributes are now amplified by this ink when they become a Floodborn character. And again, that just tells a story there, because the character, but again, the art, him telling his lame plan here on the chalkboard is just funny to me, and I just love that card.
It's kill the beast, invade castle, kill beast, marry Belle. Yeah, and it's literally his plan in the movie. Like, it's simplified into 3 little steps. But it becomes full circle. Did you ever notice that? So with this card here, if you look at Beast card later, and this is a great thing when it comes to art, you eventually have Frustrated Designer. So all these characters are getting their more intellectual selves. And when you look at this, Beast and Gaston are both like intellectually trying to figure out how to defeat each other in these cards. And granted, yes, you could say, Chad, I feel like that's a stupid stretch. But when you look at them and you put them together, they both have a symbolism and a theme to them.
Yeah, which again is very hard to pull off in a 3 centimeter by 2 centimeter little rectangle.
Yes. This is probably the favorite thing, is when everybody dubbed the Sad Beast. First off, he's fat.
Yeah, he's looking a little thick. I love that art too. Again, just look at the power. Like, and when you see that on a card and you can see his expression, like, it's just like, he's sad. And of course, his name, Tragic Hero. And again, this is a Floodborn, so there's more to that story of like, well, maybe he won and then he wasn't able to be transferred back into a human. And what did that mean? I saw him played on an event this weekend, and they had multiples of them out at a time. and they had this theme during the stream where they were trying to call them funny names, like, when you have 3 flounders out, what's it called, you know? And they had the beasts out, and they're like, is it like a horde of beasts?" And the one guy's like, "It's a tragedy of beasts." And I was like, "Oh, that's great."
That's really funny. I love that. Plus, if you look in the background, the rose is still enchanted.
Yeah, exactly. So again, something happened where he wasn't
Yeah.
able to. And then, I love, and a lot of card games do the black border, it's just part of the thing, but again, look how good that looks with the steel and how they worked, like, the colors
Mhm.
in, so again, that's a huge part of it, how they do the color palette. And then I like to play this card in purple steel so that, you know, colors in the background really blend with the purple card, so again, I think people probably don't even realize that a lot of the time, how much the aesthetics of the cards you're playing play into what you pick to play or what you like to play, you
Oh,
know?
yeah. And granted, I mean, in all the beast cards, I mean, look at the beast Forbidden
Oh,
Recluse
such a good
or
one.
Forbidden Recluse. Like, this card is absolutely beautiful. First off, it screams gargoyles to me.
Right.
It's very
He is a
weird.
gargoyle. That's the
Yes.
part in the when he's, like, hiding in the shadow.
Yes. So this part, it's absolutely amazing where they have like the gray stone, gray everything, and then obviously you make it a steel. Like
Yeah.
you look at this card and you're like, yeah, that's a steel card. If you took this away, and obviously if people didn't know what this ruby, sapphire, maybe we should have started with the colors when we start.
That's alright.
This already
If
card is a
anybody's still
theme
hanging in with
color.
their hair, they probably already know, but
Sure,
like,
whatever.
look at
But
there's so many, all the Lady and the Tramp arts are just, and again, for most of it,
oh
you
yeah,
d for this game in particular, you do, you know, if you don't like the Disney style, you're probably not gonna like it, but you can appreciate that. Like, look,
absolutely.
she's the family dog, you know, what is she doing? Is she who it, you know, if I don't know
Taking
the
care of
movie,
the
what, you know,
baby.
is the baby there? What's going on? You know, it tells a story in such a
Yeah.
small frame.
And I hate the fact that now there's a deck called Chernin Dog, which is like in the tramp make meet
Turn it
Chernin
on.
Dog.
I like
And,
that.
and then you have Jim Deere, who, first off, when we talked about this, there is no reason why this card needs to go this hard
I mean,
at all.
if you're gonna finally show his face, like, I guess you gotta go super hard with the
First,
mustache.
Jafar is here, and
Yep.
he is about to throw down.
I mean, we all would feel that way if we had puppies to defend, right? Goes well with the mechanics, so they nailed that part of it, you know, yeah, it's just,
Absolutely. I'm
and
just
again,
shocked.
not a card or not a character, if you watch Disney for the last 50 years, you'd be like, "Oh, I can't wait to play this guy in a competitive card game," you know?
Right.
And those characters are funnier to me when they're the good cards that you play, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, hey, my the card that made me win the entire tournament was Jim
Jim
Deere.
Deere.
Like, why? Because he punched Jafar in the
Right.
face.
You could see at, like, a tournament, somebody being like, "Oh, Jim Deere off the top, he's gonna win," and people are like, "What's going on?"
Like, oh shit.
You would expect something like Beast or, you know, Rapunzel or something, but
Or then you
random
have
guy.
my brother and I joke about Darling Deer.
Yeah.
Because this card's really great because you have Lady in it, and this is kind of the correlation that they have with a lot of crossover with these cards, is where like Bambi will be with Thumper, but it'll be a Thumper card. But then you have Darling Deer, which was the Lady and the Tramp, and Lady's gonna be in it. But I love the fact that they made these cards like, oh, she's here hanging out, petting her dog and getting excited, but she's 4 power, 4 defense.
She's
Why?
strong as hell, man.
Yeah, she's well, my brother goes, "Because she's hiding a gun."
Yep. He's packing heat, duh.
She has a gun. And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that's right, duh." Or, like, what was the other one that, came out recently, from Aristocats? Was it
I don't
Aristocats?
remember.
Aristocats. Yeah, Lafayette, where he's
Yeah.
a 7
He's
4.
just a huge beaver.
He's just
It's
a
like, how is this guy more powerful than Wreck-It Ralph?
or Maui.
Or Maui, yeah.
Like Maui is stronger. Or he's stronger than Maui. He's stronger than Edgar.
Oh
Like
my
how?
gosh.
But just some first off, I love this artwork because it's him like he's him itching himself, and then all this stuff is hovering around him, and he's just being a dog the entire time. I love this artwork because they correlate the fact that it is an animal. They're not they show up because they are an animal. And that's the only reason why. They're not doing anything particular. They're
well, and
just
they obviously
animals.
picked this one because then if you're a flavor text, and they want the lore of the story, he tells a little story there in the captions, and that's
That is
funny
true.
too.
Yeah. Yeah, you hang out
You
and
think
you.
about Lafayette telling the story of trying to battle Jafar.
Oh, what is that, buddy? There ain't no scarabs here. No, I love the Lorcana stuff, especially Charlotte LaBeouf. This is a great card. First off, I think that she needs to be played more. If she had like bodyguard or resist, she'd be an amazing character as is. But a 1/3 with a 1-drop, that's not that bad.
It's not
She can
bad.
she can absorb no,
She
she
gets
can't
something to
absorb
shift
two
on her.
things.
She'll get a shift someday, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, well, she'll either get a shift. She can also shift. No, she can't shift on Baymax.
Baymax can shift on her. Baymax can shift on anyone.
No, she can't.
Baymax can shift onto her. He's universal shift.
Yeah, but he's
He's different colors. You're right. He's blue green.
he's a
Never
staff,
mind.
but yeah, he's blue green. But you are right though. Like if he could, he could.
I need more of that, right? Yeah. That's really funny to think about, like Baymax shifting on everybody.
But I think one of the fun things that I know we were talking about the story is my brother realized that Basil has the most tragic bullshit ever happened to him when it comes to the story with Lorcana.
Yeah, he gets
When it comes to her.
hypnotized to
Gets
find the
hypnotized.
crown, and
Yeah, no, he gets
which
fucked
is
up.
part of his story in the movie too, right? Like, so they kind of made that work here, that I guess he's easily hypnotized by people.
He didn't get hypnotized in the movie.
I thought that was part of it. Radigan was trying to. I do really like the movie. It's one of my favorites, but I thought wasn't he?
I have to watch it again. I just rewatched it too, like a month
Wasn't
ago.
it like supposed to look like he was temporarily under his control, or he was going to do? Or am I thinking of Flaversham, who was supposed to pull
You
off?
might have been thinking about Flaversham. Now I gotta
It's
go
been a while
back
since
and
I've seen
watch
it, but yeah, I do love the movie. I thought there was a scene where he.
Oh, are you talking about the one where he like gives up?
Yeah. So for some reason, to me, in my mind, I'm twisting that into thinking he was like mind controlled or something, but he was just like being a sad sack for a minute.
Yeah,
out of it, right? Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
I mean, which is sort of the same thing when you think about it. It's like you made him give up, so he's just gonna do whatever the fuck he wants. But he becomes like he starts out in set 1 or set 2. He's not in set 1.
No, I don't think he was.
No,
So.
set 2, he's just kind of hanging out. He builds a bunch of cool stuff. He gets a nice little shift, and then he ends up this weird dreamborn detective guy because he gets hypnotized by Jafar.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird story. I would not hire a rat to do it or a mouse because I guess he's a mouse. But you know what? Sure. Whatever.
I'm imagining that the story was he got too close to figuring it out and then ended up hypnotized under the mind control, hypnotized mouse.
Ooh, Jafar. Plus Basil.
He was trying to figure it out,
Although I will say though, and one of the things I might notice is sometimes I feel like that now that I'm looking at the artwork in chronological order. Yeah, no. Huh. It isn't chronological. Because sometimes what I'll think is there's a lot of artwork that they don't get until later. So they use it for other stuff, like other sets. Either they don't get it in time and they already paid for it, like we'll be using it later. Kind of like the enchanted stuff.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah. So, but now that I'm looking at Basil, I'm like, oh wait, no, he's in full chronological order. Never mind.
They got that part of the story right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of cool stuff. If you haven't checked it out, maybe you're reluctant to play card games. I mean, there's so many good ones out there. The Star Wars game,
the One Piece game,
which I haven't dipped my toes into.
Did you do the
Lorcana, of
Star
course,
Wars game?
Magic has. No, I haven't, and part of that was like when it was first coming out, I was like, you know what, I got to set limits on myself. But I've heard good things, although I also have heard that they don't really promote it at all, so it doesn't have a ton of players. And
it did get its
people
first
said the
ban
mechanics are cool.
Yeah, it actually got its first ban list too.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, it did.
It
got
banned
its
lightsabers.
No, no, I forgot who it was, like Han Solo and then one other guy, like a Mandalorian or something.
Hey.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, that's banned. I was kind of pissed too that I got into Lorcana first, because right when I got into Lorcana, they came out with the Grand Admiral Thrawn as a card.
Ooh.
In the new set, and I was like, damn it.
I know they saw like a General Grievous one. I'm like, I better not.
Actually, I don't think I showed you, but with my Night to Say Shmi deck, which I gotta modify just a little bit, I got. And one of the fun things about card games is you can mix and match sleeves. Don't be afraid to buy sleeves from other card games to add, because I got the Darth Maul sleeves for my Lorcana decks.
Some of the playmats are super sick too. I'm like, I think I'm gonna get a Star Wars. In Star Wars, this is Disney, so maybe they'll just combine the game someday.
I hope so, but I also hope they don't.
Shuffle up your Boba Fett's into your
I would totally do that. Speaking of cool artwork, I do have Friends from the Other Side.
Such a good one. They do such a good job with the songs. The songs are like,
they do,
one of the best parts of the game.
No, I love the songs. I love the fact that they incorporated everything Disney. They're like, oh yeah, we could do the characters, but what if we do the items? What if we do the songs?
And the game is run by Ravensburger, but obviously, Disney's not just going to hand off without any oversight.
Yeah.
I mean, they easily could have said, slap some cell animation from one of the TV shows on there and call it a day. But they're like, no, you have the budget to go super hard on all the art. Like, get the best of the best to do, again, some of the songs like barely playable, like Hakuna Matata. Like they could have just easily thrown together just a crappy, sketched art. And they're like, no, it has to look super good, even if it's a card that, we'll never see play.
Oh shoot, Lori Calcaterra is in the chat, but apparently it's only read only with my chat stuff. So hello, Lori.
Hello, Lori.
I can't bring you up.
Oh, I'm glad. That's a good segue here as we wrap up.
Great.
Lori will be our second guest ever.
Yay!
So is she coming? Chad and I yammer.
Is it 2 weeks? Is she going to talk about the Weird Al hour with us?
She's definitely. I'm sure she could throw down on some Weird Al. I did just kind of want to talk to her about her experience in her first couple years in the comic zone, and I thought she's a great interviewer herself, but I wanted to offer her the chance to, be the interviewee for once.
Yeah, because I know Tom came on with our what was he with?
Tom came on for the animated that should get a.
That is true. Yes.
What are we trying to say? A live action movie. I couldn't think of the word.
Oh yeah.
So Lori Calcaterra will be on 2 weeks, and then since we were doing the second and fourth Wednesday of the month, we'll actually be off then for 3 weeks. We'll be back in August 13th. So if you're setting your calendars to our watch.
No, we won't. 23rd.
Yeah, because you got the 30th and then you got the 6th. So the second Wednesday is the 13th, and then
the second. Oh, okay. Because I was counting the 6th. Oh yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yep. I got it all mixed up. Yeah. So Lori said also whoop whoop. Weird Al, yes please.
Is she on Facebook? Or I don't see.
She is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, and I can't figure out how to use Restream with. So fun fact, John, I was gonna switch back to StreamYard, and then they stopped letting you do 2 streams for the free plan. You can only do 1. Wow.
Jeez.
And I'm like, fuck
Everybody's cutting back. They're all following suit with each other,
Yeah. I'm like, no, I'm not paying you $800 a year. Shut up. I don't care. Also, I will say Beyond the Horizon is also in my Night to Say Shmi deck, and I love this card.
That's so good. The art is so good.
The artwork's great. The card isn't that great.
I think it's pretty good.
You think not so much in Steel Amethyst. When I was playing with my brother, it's not that great. You did mention that steel thing. Oh, wait. Aaron's here. Aaron. Hey.
You came on just as we're signing off. And he's frozen. Actually, I think you should totally sign off right as he's frozen there. You just sign off.
It says oops, connection lost. Yeah, I know. There you go.
Oh no.
Okay.
You're on like a significant delay.
Okay. I am on a leg. Can you guys hear me very well?
You look like you're on like a 5-second delay or something.
Yeah.
Here, let me try to reconnect.
Thanks for trying.
Hold on 1 second.
Anyway,
sorry, Aaron. We're wrapping up. But yeah, Lori in 2 weeks. Talk to her about what some stuff she's got going on. Maybe talk about Weird Al. Maybe talk about Lurkana again. Hopefully have some of these other characters show up on time. No, I'm just kidding. Life happens.
Let me see one more time. Okay.
Hi, Aaron.
Okay, that better?
Hey, we got about 10 minutes left.
You got about 2 seconds. It's the Aaron portion of the show where you take over. Talk about whatever you want.
Oh, really? I thought it started at 4:30 today.
Wait, did we switch?
No,
yeah, I thought we started at 4:30. That's why.
No, that was a couple weeks ago when we were trying to. Chad was trying to talk to us before the show went live.
No. Oh, wait. Hang on, let me look back.
That was the last show where you wanted us to jump on early to talk about.
No, I remember now. We did.
Aaron,
so yes, so we did say 7:30. We're gonna talk about instead. And then, I forgot. I thought I didn't hear anything from you guys, so I thought we were still doing 7. My bad, Aaron.
Oh, that's fine.
Do you like Weird Al?
Yeah.
Aaron, tell us your thoughts on Weird Al. It's a frequent topic on our show now.
Weird Al Yankovic? Oh God, I like his UHF movie. Probably more than his music. I like this movie more. I like his music, but I like this movie. I thought his movie was the funniest.
I was telling David, if you haven't seen his mockumentary, Weird, the Al Yankovic story, it might be better than UHF. That man, he's only made a few movies, but he knocks it out of the park whenever he comes out.
No, it's not so the one. Funny. Didn't somebody play him in a movie?
Daniel Radcliffe,
Is that the one you're talking about?
And Daniel Radcliffe plays it so great and like straight as a heart attack.
Like really?
It was a real, and it's so that just elevates it to levels. It's almost it's hard to say it's better than UHF because that's an all-time classic, but it's pretty damn good.
A goofy movie.
The man is a legend. I had a chance to see him a couple weeks ago. I'm glad I didn't go because it ended up torrential downpour. Flooded like the place, and I heard it was horrible.
He's like what in his 60s now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's gonna be.
Which movie?
UHF.
I was going to go see Weird Al at an outdoor arena here, and it ended up being horrible weather.
And he still toured. I mean, I know he quit doing parodies a while ago. But I didn't know he still toured. Yeah.
I hope he doesn't stop doing parodies.
He said that it's harder now because there's not as much radio play to tell what's popular, and he kind of relies on that. So, but his originals are really good, so why not?
Yeah, there was a few that who was the Prince wouldn't let him do parodies.
Yeah.
I remember him saying
Prince was the one.
And Paul McCartney.
And Paul McCartney finally gave in. Yeah.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Well, he said as long as but he couldn't record it. I think he still plays it live. It's chicken pot pie instead of live or let die. But anyway, so the reason why we're bringing that up, Aaron, is because the next week, which is what week are we doing? The weekend, the 23rd, is we're going to be doing a Weird Al Power Hour.
Okay.
So are you in?
Yeah, sure.
Great. We're going to be with Lori Calcaterra. So do you play card games?
I used to. I don't play Magic. I never got into money thing. What are you talking about? Regular card games?
I mean, we were talking about Lurkana for the past hour, so.
What kind of card games do you play? You play like playing cards?
Some. There was what was it? There was a card game that was mixed with a board game.
No, that's a deck building.
I can't remember what it was called, but it was like a deck building game. But it was like you had this dungeon, and then depending on how many creatures you killed, you got points or whatever. And I can't remember. It was called Sun something. It actually had expansions.
Really?
Yeah, they're doing a lot of games like that now where you can do like solo campaigns, which is fun, you know, if you don't have anybody around. I think that there's tons.
Yeah.
Twin Suns? Nope, that's a Star Wars thing.
No, I know it if I sit in the house with me, but I know it was not. It was, and I remember I actually really liked it, and I played it with my nephews once, and that was it. No one ever played it with me again. So I have a lot of it still kind of packed out because you were supposed to only open one deck of cards, and then you would go through and open up more. And now I'm never gonna find this.
Oh, Lorcana has that with the Palace Heist stuff.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, similar. It's not as like each time you win, you open a pack, but once you beat it, like on the extreme, you beat Jafar on the extreme setting, you get to open the pack. And apparently, it's very disappointing on what it is.
Oh, really?
So,
well, did you guys ever play Gloomhaven?
Oh God, yeah. I used to.
No, I missed that one. I heard it's cool.
Gloomhaven
was the same thing,
game.
but it was opening up actual figures instead of actually opening up packs of cards. And you could augment it with cards, but then you'd eventually retire your character, and it'd be like another character. I'm never gonna find this game. I know it had a dwarf. It was a fantasy-based game. And now
cool.
There is a card game, and now that I was thinking about it, that you bring it up, called Gloom, where it's you're trying to kill your family. It's essentially Adam's family, but you're trying to kill each other.
Nice. That's fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and all the cards are like clear. So you just set them on top of each other. Yeah, so you set them on top of each other, and you get the different effects.
That's fun.
So it's really cool with like remembering. Yeah. There's a lot of fun.
There was Epic Spell Wars. We would play that all the time.
Epic Spell War. What was the other one?
It was, and that had like a few iterations of it, and you would do it by like combining the cards together to form a spell. Like you would have like the cards had to like match the end, the middle, so you could pick certain middles and ends.
Wait, what was the game called?
Epic Spell Wars. I think it's called.
Is that the one with Pistor the Piss Wizard?
Yeah.
Yes, I have. Yes, Battle Wizards.
I thought you just made that up, and he's like, "Yeah,
no,
totally.
I didn't. No,
character.
Yes, that's an actual character. Yes, I do remember this game. One of my buddies had it.
They had
it is.
two other like packs that you can combine with it to up it. I think we got one. We haven't played that in a while. That was a really fun one.
I think it just got an expansion.
Did it? I think it's still around. I know there was one card game that we liked based on Bloodborne, the video game. Strangely enough, it was actually a really fun game.
Oh, where you open it, it says you died?
Well, no, yeah, pretty much. Well, it was like a card game where basically you each hunters, and so you put a creature down the middle, and depending on who got the attacker first, whoever collected the most blood. But you could die and lose all your blood. So it actually was it was actually really fun. That was probably...
Witcher had a game spin out of it, right? Gwent? Isn't that the Witcher game?
Oh, yeah. Gwent.
I heard good things about that.
Did they make a physical copy of that?
I'm not sure if it's physical or just online only, but it's definitely a real game.
Yeah. Actually, let's be real here, guys. Really I was playing, and they do have a Gwent card game physical.
Yeah, I see it.
But let's be real here. When I was playing Gwent on the Switch, because I think that's an underrated port, I found out there's an entire game called Witcher 3. Like, there's an entire side story, and it was really interesting. You play as this character called Geralt, and you're like this Witcher trying to hunt for Cersei
and everything. Card game, huh?
Yeah, like I thought it was really interesting for a card game. I was like, that's so weird.
I mean, let me tell you about this. These movies that came out of this Disney game, you know?
Right? Yeah. There's this
spin-offs, man. They work.
There's this lady in the camp.
Card game is called Thunderstone Quest, and that was what I tried to do before. It's actually pretty cool. I mean, I actually got into it because I was trying to find games that were good for 2 players, because I was just me and my nephew for a while that would play games together, and we were. And this one says great for 2 players, and it's actually pretty fun. It's actually definitely different. I actually pretty simple to learn. I liked it, but it was like the board game element sort of with the deck building and stuff.
I kind of like that. There's one called Dungeon where it's like that. You try to beat like a mini boss or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like a card game, but it's kind of like a board game.
The funnest one me and my nephews got into with one was the board game based off the video game Doom. That was I always played the demons, and my nephews eventually won. But somebody plays the demons against the Marines, and then we actually had an Alien versus Predator miniature game that was actually really easy. It seemed complicated once you figure out just when everything was like a -5. Then it became a ton of miniatures for that. But we would just fight each other, and we would make up our own rules and shit. And that became super fun because you could eat British you saw fit. And but the thing was kind of interesting about that game that they did. I've never seen them doing it. You're fighting miniatures, but as you're moving around the board initially, you use these tokens. So people can, like your friends can see you moving your characters, but they don't know which character that actually is. So like, you know, it may be like one of the higher end predators and one of the low end, they may try to attack you, then like, oh shit, it's one of these guys. So it's definitely real then, you know, you can't. Because, I mean, they had the Alien Queen and stuff, and there was a few that, you know, you would, oh, shit, what is that? And then you would figure out what it is. But, yeah, there was it was actually really fun. We bought, like, all the miniatures for it and had a blast. My nephews moved to Oklahoma, so they're the ones that played game with me. Once they moved away to Oklahoma, it was like, oh, well, now my games sit there and collect dust.
Oh, darn.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you guys wrap up. Sorry for the time confusion there, Aaron.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, so we'll be back with our Weird Al Power Hour in 2 weeks. And then after that, guys, I think we need to do a board game discussion because I think this would be great.
Oh, yeah.
We got a whole nother topic.
Yeah. But, all right, guys, we will see you next time on the Cosmos. Goodbye.
See you later.
Wait, how do I hit end?